Hello, fellow traders. 'Tis I, the Rumpled One, coming to you Friday the 13th. That's right, Friday, December the 13th. The year is 2019. Let's talk trading. It's time for the weekly wrap up. I guess looks like Brexit's going to go through. And any of you in the pound pairs, I hope you were on the profitable side. I don't know if you were watching, but 2 p.m. my time, 5 p.m. New York time, I guess there was a report in London, and I believe the pound spiked about 300 pips in the blink of an eye, or 200 pips. Um, I I was flat. I mean, normally, if I was going to hold the pound, I'd be short because it pays short, but I stood aside. Otherwise, it could have been disastrous. So a trader was asking me about, how do you trade that news? What do you do? And I said, he goes, what method? What do you do? I go, it's react. It's like you're playing a video game. It's all about being focused and just reacting. You get in, you get out because that sucker can take a turn on you so fast. And then the price of the pound got up to $1.35 and change, and then it came back down. So it's just one of those things where it's not for the faint-hearted. You really have to be quick on the draw. You got to make sure you got a good internet connection and all of that. So, well, let's just move forward here. And the thing is, when you're in that situation, sometimes price can blow through your stop, and you can take a little bit bigger hit than what you were planning on. So you really have to be quick and react. Okay, only one pair didn't fill. So those of you trading the gap fills, once again, it was profitable. Let's see, dollar yen is up 73 pips over the weekly open. And on the monthly, it's down. As you can see, it actually poked its head above the yearly open, but now we're 34 pips below it. And we're 20 pips down on the month. And here we go. As you can see, yesterday, it blew through into the first day of the month's range. And there's the open of the first day of the month. So a monthly open crossover would have paid off by about 14 or so pips. You can see we got above the yearly open, but didn't go above the high of day one or day one of the month. And so when we came back down. So we're now in the range of the first day of the month. Trading day, that is. For the week, you can see right here, it blew through the buy zone on the week, and the rest is history. Let's just pull up the pounds here so you can see what happened yesterday. Right here, the close, and then a huge gap up, and it just took off. So you could have been hurt really bad on that trade. So sometimes it's just better to stand aside, let things sort them out. And so you can see here, things kind of got sorted out, and you can draw a line here, and it broke that low and continued down. So there's this gap here that, I would imagine is going to have to fill sometime. So those of you looking to short the pound, look to take profit somewhere when it fills that gap. But then again, boys and girls, fellow traders, just remember one thing here when you're watching these videos, and that is these videos are for educational purposes only. And your results may differ from mine, and trading is extremely risky. So if you need trading advice, financial advice, investing advice, seek it from an accredited financial professional. That way, if and when you lose your money, you got the advice from an accredited financial professional rather than some guy on YouTube or something from some guy you read off the internet or some gal on YouTube or internet. In fact, there's this one lady, she's putting out these videos, and I've been watching them from time to time. But she uses naked charts, and actually, the one thing I do like about her, she's really talking about the trading psychology rather than all the technical indicators. So that's something that I encourage traders to do, is to focus on what's inside the brain. Now, here we go. That inside bar, a long here would have paid off, and a short here would have paid off once price got in there. So actually, maybe, I don't know if a short, because it probably opened, went down, then back up. But we can see in a little bit here. And you can see how many inside bar trades there are to be had. As you can see here, the range yesterday was insane. And the winner, surprisingly, was the pound Canadian dollar. With the new beast, the pound New Zealand, coming in second. Actually coming in third. But lots of pairs over 100. And we broke out of the previous day's high. And that was good for about 25 pips if you nailed the entry and the exit. And there's your weekly H1 highest open here. You can see you had a second opportunity to take that trade. Now price is moving in off of the H1 lowest open, and you can see here you had a second opportunity. So when you're taking these trades, you can see here that it's wise to take some small profit because you might get a second opportunity. So, because you just never know. You might, because right here, what would happen is, if you would have taken this and you move your stop to break even +1, you would have been triggered out and you could have missed out on this trade. So that's why you take some, you might let some ride, and then if you get a chance to re-enter, you re-enter and continue. You can even stack on and add to. So we can see here we missed the pivot point yesterday. So the dollar yen, went down and then up. And in the rat zone, you can see we have enough range, and the rats were rewarded with cheese. And as I mentioned, I believe it was yesterday, we did hit the weekly pivot and the monthly pivot. So pivot traders were once again rewarded. Sometimes it's patience. Here we have a missed pivot today. So one of these pivots will probably get taken out sometime in the near future, but anything could happen and they might not get taken out. On the price action, 3-ball right at the line paid off. And here once again, you can see if you went short here and you didn't take your profit, you would have been maybe possibly upset. So you also know that price doesn't like to stay between two lines. So you take your profit. You can see here, price doesn't like to stay between two lines. And here, price didn't like to stay between two lines. And right here, more of the same. So you could just use the simple lines, just trade what you see, going with the H1 candle color. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. Wick zone in and out, and we're back in, probably going to come back out. Now, here we go. This is kind of interesting. You might think this is confusing, but here's the weekly open, and there's the weekly ATR zone, the upper and the lower, but you can see the daily is here, and the daily upper is actually above the weekly upper because we've been moving up during the week. And we hit that ATR zone and we reversed out of it. So once again, a great place to take profit if you're long from the open, and also a great place to look for reversals. So that's how we use the ATR to help us with our trading. Now, let's see. I'm trying to think, were there any other questions pending out there? I don't remember seeing any other question. So I think I've answered them all this week. If not, let me know. And let's see, prices right near the daily open, maybe a crossover to the downside. I was trying to think because I have a nagging feeling there was some other question somebody wanted an answer to. Oh, let's see. What I could probably do is, since I've got a few minutes left, let's just take a look at the pound. And let's bring up the British pound, US dollar, and run through the charts. Had a breakout of the weekly high this week. It's above the yearly open. You see everything's green. $189 pips off the high. And there, once again, you can see that huge gap. And there's that move once again. Inside bar happened a long time ago. Broke right out of that daily high. Monthly D1 highest open. There's the yearly H1 highest open right there. So this is December, and you see it's making a yearly H1 highest open. It would have been nice to be short. Buy zone, you didn't have a chance. Not a chance at all. You know, one thing about these charts, in fact, it gave me an idea for a new indicator. And what I'm thinking about doing is having an indicator that draws ask bars as opposed to bid bars. And what I mean by that is these bars are basically the bid price, the highest bid, lowest bid, opening bid, closing bid. But you see on the ask, it's not always, you don't know what the ask price is because we don't have it. So I'm thinking about having an indicator, but it would have to be dynamic. Let's see where, I guess I don't have the spread dots indicator in this particular profile. That's interesting. So that's what I'm thinking about doing. So you can see how low the ask actually got, or how high the ask actually got. Because once again, we're kind of only getting half the info here, because a lot of times you'll wonder why your trade didn't trigger, and that's the reason why. So, fellow traders, I really hope you had a great profitable week. You're having a great profitable month. And it's Friday the 13th. I wish you all the best of luck. And have a nice, safe weekend. And when you come back to trade next week, just keep in mind, it's not what you trade, it's how you trade it. So come back and drain the banks.